Chukei HaNashim. Like we said, we have a project. The purpose is to make explanation built around the speech and the road of the Ben Ish Chai regarding the book he wrote for the women of our people. Le but après, c'est de faire des agaot, des explications sur chaque page et page que Ben Ish Chai a écrit dans ce livre qu'il a consacré aux femmes. And all the challenge is basically to succeed to make happen the fact that every single woman related to the Vidrasha will give her understanding and vision and how to apply and to understand the idea and the vision of a society in the Middle East before 150 years, and how we can keep this incense, this light, this wisdom the same, but to apply it to our generation and to the reality that women face now. We have already done 10 limudim of many hours, and Bezrat Hashem, may we succeed to see the book being published, written, and it will be big school. So, on commence. Donc, l'idée, c'est, n'oubliez pas d'être concerné, de réussir à sortir un livre qui va être la compréhension de ces écrits du Ben Ish Chai avec la vision moderne. So, Rabbi El Natan Chana, can you help me to read? You have an English version? No, not this. Not this. English version? Yeah. I'll ask you to read a little bit fast because people, it's an unusual group, so they don't have the same passion that we have when we are in a small group. So we're gonna go faster. What's the page? 25. Sorry, 29. From special dangers. Donc on va commencer à partir d'ici, comme vous voyez sur mon écran. Special danger. 1 second.
Noble and valiant women, I have a complaint to launch against the daughters of the wealthy in our city. By that, in general, these young women serve as a shining example of modesty. They feel embarrassment in the presence of strangers and they cover their faces with a veil while in their presence, regardless of how old the men are.
So, il dit en fait, il veut nous exprimer une plainte. Mais avant ça, il explique ce que était la tendance à Bagdad. Les femmes ne se laissaient pas voir par les hommes, peu importe l'âge de l'homme. He said it was like this in Baghdad. Every single woman was hiding her face when a stranger was coming in her house or close to her. So face hidden, cacher le visage. Yes.
Yet when the door-to-door salesman arrives and displays his wares, the veils are suddenly thrown aside and all the vestige of modest behavior disappears in a moment. The most shy and the modest women are transformed into aggressive and the aggressive traders and the bargaining for prices and the demanding to see every article of clothing in the salesman's samples bag.
Donc il dit quoi? Il dit maintenant le problème il est quoi? Il y a les vendeurs de porte à porte. So it seems to be that in his time, this is the way to make commerce. You go, you knock, and they open, you start to sell your fabric. Donc il dit, à l'époque, c'était comme ça. Il y a des vendeurs de porte à porte. Il dit, mais cette situation-là, elle me contraint, elle m'embête. He said, the situation is very disturbing. Why? Because suddenly, the same woman who used to put the veil on their face when a stranger was in front of her, now, they even not put the veil, they start to make commerce, to argue, to say, what is that? They are basically in the situation that I have to make my...
Sounds like Dubai.
Yeah. Donc il dit d'un coup, ces femmes-là qui étaient très modestes, qui se voilait le visage devant quelconque étranger, là, d'un coup, elle commence à avoir un comportement très agressif, très vigoureux, parce qu'elle veut négocier un prix bas. Yes.
After his third visit, this man gains the confidence of women. Then they begin to treat him as one of their own. He's allowed to enter the women's room as he pleases. They contemplate her appearance, suggesting more becoming a combination of accessories. This is his feet.
Donc, il dit quoi? Après la troisième visite, ça y est, ça devient plus intime. On est un habituel. After the first visit, it's easier. Oh, we know, he's the plumber. The guy who make, she puts him. He's the guy who clean the house. He's the guy who clean for Pesach. We know him. He's from the family. So he enter, what's happened? He go in, enter in the room. Yeah, and he sees everything, and no one is disturbed. Et personne n'est dérangé. Parce qu'on s'est habitué à sa présence. Ça y est, il commence à aller à circuler n'importe où dans la maison. Donc, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Il dit, ça y est, à partir de ce moment-là, il commence à regarder. Il commence à contempler la beauté de la femme. So what happened from that moment? It's finished. He starts to look, to check, to see what the shape, how beautiful she is. Donc, il dit quoi? C'est une situation qui est très bizarre parce que nous, on est dans un monde où, d'un coup, dès que c'est un métier, ça y est, c'est plus un chiyuv de tenir des rigueurs. We are in a world very strange. When it's about job, task, it's my job, you suddenly think that halacha should be held in another way. What does it mean? People are against, oh, what's happened? The best gynecologist is the man. So let me go. Why do you argue? It's a doctor. Ah, okay. I have a Ben Ishai telling me that a salesman selling fabric is a problem, seeing your face. So you're talking to me, a doctor, a man that you barely know, seeing that part of your body is not a problem. Okay, let's take it, let's see what will happen, what may happen. Donc d'un coup, on a des femmes qui argumentent, qui disent non, je connais, je vais prendre un gynéco homme parce que c'est le meilleur. Et donc un homme que tu connais à peine parce qu'il est docteur, il a accès à cet endroit-là, il peut voir. Alors que là, on a un Ben Ishraï qui nous dit qu'il est embêté par un vendeur de porte-à-porte qui peut voir ton visage. Ken.
This is truly surprising. For, on the one hand, the strict rule of modesty are observed even in the presence of the elderly. Yet on the other, the most liberal attitude is adopted when the company of this merchandise.
So he said, il dit quoi ça? Il dit maintenant, d'un coup, parce qu'il y a une dimension de commerce qui va exister, toutes les barrières de modestie sautent. Because a level of commerce exists, all the boundaries are removed. What is commerce? It's a business. Forget about it's a doctor, it's a psychologist, it's a gynecologist. No. What do you do at the end? You pay. So if you pay, the doctor is a commerce, is making commerce. He's selling his service. There's no difference between that situation and that situation. Il n'y a aucune différence entre cette situation et cette situation. What does it mean? It means that in this text, you see merchants. Dans ce texte, vous voyez des marchands. Don't think that we're talking about people selling only fabric. We talk about every interaction, every connection between a woman and a man in the frame of commerce, meaning I do something and you pay me. Il c'est surprising. Et c'est surprenant. On ne parle pas d'un marchand. Tout ce qui est un service qui va demander rémunération, ça y est, vous y êtes. Ça s'applique. And you know, people, they don't want to work nowadays. Les gens, ils ne veulent pas faire. You say, oh no, paint your walls. Tu dis, peintez mieux. Oh, we'll call someone. Call a guy, come me paint. Fix the chair. Oh, we'll call someone. Every time it's I call. What do? You bring a foreigner, a foreign man in your house, and the woman, she's showing off with what's nude. Parce qu'on a tellement de fainéants, parce que le service, c'est ce qui caractérise la modernité. Donc, on fait venir des gens pour tout et n'importe quoi. Et les gens, ils rentrent dans la maison. Et ils rentrent dans la maison, ils voient la femme avec cette option de nude. Ken.
There is another situation which requires a correction. Women who, when in the presence of a strange man, keep the rules of modesty rigorously, yet they fail to do so when accompanied by her male relatives. She fails to pay attention to whether her neck and the shoulders are covered sufficiently, comes her hair carelessly, does not concern herself whether her buttons are closed, and they will not think twice of walking around in her bathrobe. Not only this, she will even engage with her male relatives in physical conduct, such as playful wrestling and pushing
Boots. Donc, il dit quoi? Il dit, il y a encore une situation plus étrange. C'est qu'il y a des femmes qui n'ont même plus de scrupules quand elles sont en présence même, on va dire, de leur frère, de leur mari, qui a un étranger qui est là, elles commencent à se comporter d'une manière légère. Elles ne font pas attention à ce qui est fermé, à ce qui est ouvert, à ce qui est montré, ce qui n'est pas montré. Il n'y a même pas cette attention-là qui est faite pour dire, attends, il y a quelqu'un qui n'est pas de ma famille, il dit même un habit de bain. Tu sais, un habit de bain. How do you call it in English? Bathrobe. Un habit de bain. Tu sors avec un habit de bain. Oh, même for them go out in the street. Il met le peignoir, il sort. What the Ben Ishra is trying to give to us, we're going to see how deep it is. Now ask, il va nous dire Ben Ishra. Ken.
Such women seem to think that the rules of modesty do not apply when in the presence of a relative. This is an absolutely false assumption. So it's such a matter of fact. Actually, such a behavior will inevitably bring about the most serious sexual written in the Torah.
So he said basically, elle dit quoi? Elle dit, en fait, le problème principal, il va être quoi? Parce qu'il va avoir un proche qui va se trouver dans la pièce, ce manque de tsniout est accepté. Il dit, c'est une erreur grave. Parce que ce n'est pas parce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui est de ta famille dans la pièce que tu dois d'un coup te comporter avec plus de légèreté avec un étranger qui se trouve dans la même pièce que vous. Ken.
The laws of the Torah require that a woman behave with the same degree of modesty with her male relatives as she does with absolute strangers. Relation included in this prohibition are brothers, brother-in-law, or other male family members, and the male house servants as well.
Yes, continue.
Sisters, you have proven yourself capable of accepting a rebuke. I bless you with long and just lives. I be faith that you will accept my word and fulfill them. That my advice does not annoy you, and that my counsel penetrate into the depths of your heart. You are the daughter of a nation of noble origin. Do not bring dishonor, the humiliation to your father and mother. All shame your people. And may Hashem shorten the life of the woman who breaches the rules established by our holy matriarch.
J'espère que vous allez prendre mon conseil avec recul. Vous allez comprendre ce que j'essaie de vous expliquer. Vous êtes d'une ascendance royale, d'une lignée importante, et qu'il faut considérer que la modestie, même entre frères, même avec les beaux-frères et les cousins, n'est pas une chose qui se négocie. Meaning that all the aspects of tzniut, you don't have to negotiate. It should be there and it's done. So the question is why? La question elle est pourquoi? La question, elle est pourquoi? But before to start to give an answer, avant qu'on commence à essayer de donner une réponse, I want to ask a question to the Khatan of the Kala. So when you was about to marry her, going under the chuppah, what did you do before? Just before she... Ah, okay. The question is why? Il a mis le voile, il a fait le Kisouye. The question is why? Most of the people in the mainstream world, non-Jew, what they do with the veil, remove it.
You gotta make sure it's the right girl.
Hein?
You gotta make sure it's the right girl.
Ouais, but we do the opposite. Nous, on fait l'opposé. We go, he sees her, il la voit, he put the veil,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
he put the veil, and after what said the Edim, achotenu at tiyeh le'alfer revavot. The same bracha that Lavan gave to Rivka. Donc, qu'est-ce qu'ils font? Les Edim, au moment où il fait le Kisouye, il dit, notre sœur, tu seras parmi les myriades et myriades. C'est la bracha que Lavan a fait à Rivka. My question is why?
I just know what Israel said. He said this is the Kinyan Shana.
Ah, he said this is the first Kinyan.
Just the scene.
What is the way to do the first Kinyan? It's not to do that. Like you move, like we do sometimes, we take a fabric and say Kinyan. No, the first Kinyan is lechasot, is to put the veil. Ah, if you try to go back, c'est quoi le premier Kinyan chez nous en fait? C'est on met le voile. On ne dévoile pas. On voile. We don't, you say unveil?
Unveil.
We don't unveil. We put the veil.
Veil.
We veil, but you have to remove the veil, like they do. We put the veil. Et cette action-là, ça s'appelle que tu l'as acquise. My question is, do you know what did you create at that moment? Except the fact that you acquire her for the first time. Donc, ma question, c'est est-ce qu'il sait ce qu'il a fait à ce moment-là, à part le fait qu'il est acquise?
Rabbi, why would putting the veil be a Kenyan? Like, what is that Kenyan?
This is all the limud. This is not the purpose. This is all the limud.
In many countries on earth, there's lots of land. It belongs to the government. It belongs to nobody. How do you make it yours? You have to take off all the trees and build a fence.
Yes. In the time, and sometimes you can see it with Chabad's wedding. When the veil is put, it's not in public. Tu peux le voir à l'époque, même tu peux voir un peu dans le milieu Chabad, quand le voile il est mis, c'est pas en public. C'est in a small room, parents, husband, he know that it's her, he put the veil, and all the ceremony is with the veil. No one sees the face. Donc ils font quoi? Ils mettent le voile, seulement les témoins, les parents, tout ça, ils amènent sur la choupa, all the way to the choupa, she's veiled. Tout le chemin sur la choupa, elle est voilée. Et même sur la choupa, toute la cérémonie, on n'enlève pas le voile. What was the kavana of this minhag that we keep it no more? It was the face of my wife, no one have to see it.
The Arabs do.
Yes, for sure. The purpose is why we changed. Now it's like this. I want to see how she's the bride. She's pretty. In the chuppah, Tuma already. Hein? Dans la chuppah déjà, il y a tous les gens qui regardent la mariée. Ils disent, on va voir si elle est belle la mariée. But who told you this is the way to behave? And pay attention. Go to every wedding. You'll see at that moment, all people are looking at the bride.
Everybody. What did he end up with? What did he end up with?
It's maybe a problem. I don't say it's a problem. I say maybe. Je dis peut-être c'est un problème. On va essayer de comprendre ce qui se passe. First thing, look at in Hebrew text, it's talking about the Kisouye. In the premier text, talking about the Kisouye. What is the Kisouye? C'est quoi un Kisouye? But let's say, what is the purpose of the Kisouye?
Est-ce qu'on peut dire c'est de mettre un polymer culturel comme ça?
What does it mean to put a microphone? What does it mean?
De la faire sortir de la plupart, première partie de la faire sortir de la plupart, en fait. On peut dire ça vraiment.
What does it mean? I want to just to understand a simple concept. What is the purpose and the definition of a Kisouye?
A piece of
It's a separation between the crowd and
a piece of material.
A piece of material, separations.
C'est quelque chose qui couvre la tête. C'est quelque chose qui regroupe quelque chose. You cover precious, something that's precious. If the cover is at that time, like
Sneer, talking about sneer.
Avec le cos,
you cover it.
c'est pas le même rachat.
Oh, his actual shoulder. Oh, wow.
C'est faire à l'écoutime. To understand what is the purpose and the origin and the essence of a Kisouye, pour comprendre c'est quoi l'origine, le but et l'essence d'un Kisouye, we have to see about David Ameller. On doit regarder David Ameller. Why David Ameller?
Same root as for sneeze?
No, because David Ameller, before, in his old age, dans ses vieux jours, they found a new wife for him, and he was always cold. And they had on him clothing and cover him, Kisouye. So, by understanding this concept there, with David Ameller, who is the expression of Malchut, feminine dimension, we'll understand what's really the purpose of a Kisouye on a woman. Donc, en comprenant ce que le Kisouye que David avait sur lui à la fin de sa vie faisait, on va comprendre c'est quoi le but d'un Kisouye sur une femme. No matter where it is, on the head, when he's talking about on the face, let's see. Regardons.
My question was, is it the same shortage of sneeze?
No. So he say like this. Kadosh, il dit comme ça dans Char, c'est faire à l'écoutime. I will jump a little bit just to get to the point. J'étais un peu. You see on the left side, second paragraph. Côté gauche du paragraphe. Il dit, c'est like this. אמנם העניין הוא על דרך, ויאמר על דרך מה שכתוב בספר הזוהר. He said to understand this concept, we have to see what the Zohar is saying about the story of David Ameller being dressed with clothing and being mechoussé, d'être caché. On doit comprendre ce que je vous ai dit sur le fait qu'il a été caché et habillé. Il sait, ועשיית כל הימים כולם של צדיקים מלבוש הנשמה כדי להתלבש בה. So he said, first of all, the definition of the clothing he was putting on him, it's simple. He said, all the days of a tzaddik, like Rabbi Binyamin, or Tzadeket, like Sarah Fegele, it's like every single day of your life have to be like a clothes that you put on your soul. Donc, en fait, il dit, tous les jours de la vie d'un tzaddik, ils sont comme un habit que tu mets sur ton âme. Et te la bêche bas. Why? Because you cannot come in front of God with a sack. A sack, it's when we have a spade, it's mourning. Tu ne peux pas venir devant le roi avec un sac qui est un habit de deuil. Halouka DeRabbanan. But you have to come with something called Halouka DeRabbanan. This is the levushim. I will not enter now on this concept because it's it's a big, deep concept. It's all about.
I think we spent 2 months on that.
Huh?
2 months?
Yes. It's all about mochin the katnut and so on to make them sweet. Okay. So he said, what is basically the clothing? It's mochin the katnut that you made sweet and it covers you. You have to be dressed, and every single day of your life is dress on dress on dress on dress on dress, clothes on clothes on clothes on clothes, and you finish your life. You achieve. The purpose is to go over the 70. The 70. Why? Because from 0 to 70 or to 80, the Ramina said, most of people, they have 70 years for live of life. If they are strong, 80. But we saw this morning that all this is related to the 7 kings. They are handling your life, except if you remove the influence. This is just a bracket. Donc il dit quoi? On sait que les gens normalement sont vivent 70 ans, maximum 80 ans. C'est ce qu'il dit le télim qu'on lit à Shabbat. Il dit, mais qu'est-ce qui se passe? Les habits qu'on met, c'est en fait adoucir les dinim dans sa vie. To make sweeter the dinim in your life. Help you to be dressed. This is just clothing. So now what is Kisouye? So I jump. Next page, Shin Ein Het. He said, when it's written in the pasuk, and he was covered. Il était un Kisouye. He said, Bebgadim. Below Yechamlo, he said, he was covered, but he wasn't hot. He was still cold. He said, Velo Yachol le'anot me'em. He couldn't take a profit of the Kisouye. Il ne pouvait pas prendre le profiter de Kisouye. בעניין הוא, כי מלבד הלבוש הנזכר בזוהר, יש לבושים אחרים שהם נעשים מין מצוות עשה שהם רמה. Oh. So he said we have 2 kinds of clothing. On a 2 sortes d'habits. You have the clothing which are basically your behavior as a tzaddik and a tzaddiket every single day of your life, which like bring more and more covers on your soul. And you have other kind of levushim, which are only related to the 248 mitzvot. They are the Kisouye. Why? Because they are related to the members of the body. How many members? 248. Donc, c'est quoi en fait? Il dit, il y a les habits que tu vas mettre qui sont liés à Halouka DeRabbanan. Il dit, ça, c'est ton quotidien. Mais dans cette catégorie d'habits, il y a un autre type d'habits qui, eux, sont reliés aux mitzvot positifs. They are related to the positive mitzvot. And there are only 248. Sont que 248. C'est they are the Kisouye. C'est eux les Kisouye. Why? Because every single mitzvah is related to one member. Chaque one organ. Chaque mitzvah est relié à un membre, à un organe. So meaning, for the woman, Ben Ishra say, this part, this organ has to be covered. Il dit quoi, Ben Ishra? Que pour la femme, ça doit être caché. Even if we're in a modern society, we still have books printed with that logical. So we have to know what we do. Même si c'est passé, on a un livre qui écrit ça, donc on doit comprendre comment on fait. And how we do it, at least, Bezrat Hashem, just because we do it at the wedding, at the chuppah, Hashem Yirachem Aleinu, that we know that we have to cover. After life, it's hard. So we face what we face, how we can face. But at least at the chuppah, we know that, I did it, Hashem. After, now it's complicated. Which Jewish woman will cover his face? No one. Tu sais, you're crazy, leave me alone.
C'est tout le visage qui doit être couvert, c'est pas que la tête, c'est ça?
Il parle de tout le visage. Ouais. So he said basically, Ramar Evarim. Veichasu be'em Ramar Evarav. So he said basically, Ramar mitzvot. So the 248 mitzvot will be a cover to the 248 members. Bekiyum mitzvat lo ta'aseh. שהם משסה גידים ושסה גידים ושסה ימין שלא אוי חטא בהם והם הנקראים ונעשית מלבוש לו בסוד ויקרבו ימי דוד. So it's basically all the purpose is to understand that the Kisouye that we are talking about now is done with the respect of the positive mitzvot and also not transgressing the lotasi.
We're talking about the hinuma. This is the pistol.
About what?
The hinuma. The white thing that you put on the bride. You're
Yeah.
talking about this.
Yes, we talk about this, but the question is, for Ben Ishchai, he's saying that this should be done every day. But we are in a society where, at least even at the wedding, no one does it, or people don't pay attention.
150 years have passed
Yeah,
when you write it. Maybe
Yeah.
in Baghdad, I think in 1 week they do something there.
yes. So our challenge with the ladies of the group is to know how we're gonna understand this nowadays, how to apply it,
We need to bring it back.
to bring it back. So what is the direction we see in the Erakadosh? He said the code behind Kisouye is basically mitzvot ta'aseh,
Yes, yes.
positive mitzvot. Why? Because they bring light covering on veil on each members.
Il y a écrit dans la présence, il y a écrit que les femmes du pays. Donc ça ne m'étonne pas du tout qu'à Bagdad, si elles ne se trouvaient pas, elles étaient vraiment pas timides par rapport aux autres.
Bien sûr, bien sûr.
Mais alors, elles sont aujourd'hui.
Ah, c'est ce que je viens de dire.
Mais pas couvert.
Ah, c'est-
C'est une année à ma femme de son, mais enfin de son endroit. Même aujourd'hui, si nous on va à Bagdad, nous on devrait.
Non, en fait, la question, c'est de savoir comment on repose la question de nos jours. Et il te dit, le Halouka, je fais, regarde, la notion de Kisouye, c'est juste d'être hémacrite sur les 248 mitzvot. Ça fait un Kisouye sur chacun de tes membres.
So the Kisouye is part of the Halouka DeRabbanan.
Halouka, yes, it's a part of.
It's part of, but all the year we don't have this Kisouye.
We're going to know how to build it. We're going to see how to build it.
Ah, c'est ce que les
Only
musulmanes
in
elles-mêmes.
the wedding.
What?
Only the wedding.
Only at the wedding. But the question is, nowadays, no woman will take a Kisouye. No one.
Yeah.
Aucune femme va mettre un voile.
Yeah.
Because they'll find a reason. I want to be pretty. Okay, no problem. So the question is, how do we do to bring this word to be respected? Because it's in the Zohar, it's in the Ben Ishchai, it's in the Ari. The Ari give us one direction. He say, you know what? It's like this. If a woman, she's makpid about the 248 mitzvot, this create a veil and a cover and so on. So for sure, some of them have to be done physically, meaning you have to, if you marry, you have to cover because it's the minhag now. La tête, ah, il ne veut pas le dire ici, on va le voir aujourd'hui. Mais je vais chercher. Je vais chercher. Là, je ne sais pas encore, il faut que j'étudie.
Donc, les musulmanes, donc, elles font bien de s'habiller comme elles s'habillent. En fait, ça a une source, finalement, c'est une origine véridique.
Ouais.
Il parle mal de musulmanes. Ils disent qu'elles se trouvent dans les
Ça n'empêche pas qu'il y a le mérite quand même de cette extériorité. Ouais.
And they're by the Rambam. We hold by the Rambam.
You are saying that the Muslim girls are putting veil on. And I was saying that in the Mama, saying that there are not Muslim girls are not. It's not because they put a veil that they act like
They're doing this to cover something
What?
They're doing this.
But look at the bracha they have for fertility.
It's a whole question because we see that we have now to battle between tradition and period, time, and society where we are standing, where we are holding. But he bring the question, he say, look, in our time, in Baghdad, before 150 years, it was not logical to see a Jewish woman showing her face to somebody who is not a husband of a stranger.
Rambam says the same thing.
It was an Arab country.
Yes.
Nobody saw the face
Yes.
in Iraq.
So now the question is it only because of the society or is there something else behind?
Maybe they were copying it from before, from somewhere.
The question is, Imaot, Sarah. Where's Sarah? She's in the tent. Like she said, Sarah, she brought the example of Tamar. She said like this. She said all the purpose to see the story of Tamar, for example. She go on the street to prostitute herself. Her father-in-law even not recognize her. What does it mean? He said no. Mefarshim said no, because every single time she was in the house of her father and with her husband, she was veiled. And also the sota, what do? Remove the veil. So is it Baghdad or is it a minag Yehudi?
Minag Yehudi.
It said that Sarah covered everything but one eye.
Yes, it's not a shame, but you see that covering, we didn't wait to be in Baghdad, we wait to be in Saudi Arabia or in France or in Morocco to use it. They didn't teach to us anything, not to us anything. Ils nous ont rien appris. On l'avait déjà.
Very tight to the tzniut of the woman.
Is very sweet. He's very sweet. Why? Because he wants to, like he said, what he said, I hope you will not go by my word. I just wanted to understand what I tried to explain to you. There's something in arguing, but there's another thing in wisdom. What is the purpose of wisdom? Is to bring you, women, at the highest level ever. Yeah. Like we saw in the week with the normal shiur, which is basically Ruria.
What about Ruria?
What about Ruria, Bimolechai? So give to them what we have seen.
We learned out that the whole basis of Pesach, the basis of Pesach is to build mochim, to build dots. And so the Tanaim understood how to build dots through the Kedushim of Ruria. So Sugya Rebbe, but the woman is her building dots in Pesach is the goal for every man, every woman in Pesach is building dots. So what he's teaching us how to build dots, how to be mochim, and how to be profitable.
Yeah, but this is the Ben Ish Chai, if I learn the halachot of the Ben Ish Chai, it's more strong.
I know, but that's why we study it, because it's not strong at all. We misunderstand the purpose of the tzaddik when he's talking. Someone who wants to cure us, we call him too strong. Someone who let us do what we want, we say he's a good guy.
Yeah.
No, the good guy is this one who bring you up.
Yes.
Even if it's hard to listen, yes, but get information and let it. So what the purpose, what he says, c'est quoi le but, voilà qu'il dit, ce qu'on a compris, c'est que le fait de se dévoiler devant des étrangers, c'est un problème. The fact to be exposed in front of strangers is the problem. Which problem? It says this damage your spiritual members. Ça endommage tes membres rouhaniques. In the same way that you have a physical body, you have a rouhanic body also. Spirit body. Exactly. Donc il dit, c'est la même chose que tu fais. So now what's happened? All the things we saw before is begging the woman. Woman, never forget, no matter what you have done, what you're doing, Teshuvah is always standing on your right. Et il dit quoi? Il demande aux femmes, les femmes, n'oubliez pas, toutes les fois où vous avez peut-être fait des erreurs, peu importe, n'oubliez jamais que la Teshuvah se tient à votre droite. And we saw it the last weeks. He said and again, Teshuvah, 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 Teshuvah. The question is, why? We're going to see why. But what I want you to understand is like this. Not being tsanua, it's a big word. It starts from the way you look, the way you talk, the way you work, you walk, the way you you dress, and many things. There's many levels to the sneer, the way you talk also. But here we want to see, even if you're in a society where it will be shameful to veil, I understand. It's no more the habits. But understand at least what should be your kavanah when you do your Torah and you do 48 mitzvot. At least your Halouka DeRabbanan to be veiled. At least that. You have to check what are the, let's say, the Sefer mitzvot Rambam, what are the 248 mitzvot. You have to know them. At least to study them a little bit every day or to read them, to quote them. Because you know, Heikhalot said, now this is her veil for every single member of my body's, at least spiritual body. Physical one, it's another story, it's period, it's depending what's happened, which country you are, what is the road, okay, we got it. But at least your spiritual body, au moins, le corps est rouhani. But how can you do it? So no, how? Why you have to do it? Pourquoi vous devez faire ça? Why is this so worried about you at least paying attention about being tsanua? And to know that Teshuvah is standing on your right. Because he said he wants to bring you at the top level. Il veut vous amener haut. But where? We have this book, Even Shoah, the Shulchan Aruch, with the commentary of Heikhalot. Heikhalot Teshuvah. Let's go and see what's happened. Heikhalot Teshuvah.
Sur ça que nous avez expliqué, c'est-à-dire que ce n'est même plus question de se couvrir, de se découvrir envers d'autres personnes. C'est-à-dire que
non, c'est toujours une question de se couvrir, se découvrir envers d'autres personnes, mais c'est en plus les couvertures que tu n'as plus la possibilité de mettre parce que tu as honte, qui va sortir en voile aujourd'hui. Au moins, pense à le faire de manière rouhani.
C'est-à-dire que si je suis dans une maison, moi toute seule, je peux me découvrir, mais je pourrais rester couverte sur le principe.
Non, pas surtout de découvert devant des étrangers.
C'est là où il y a le problème.
Devant les étrangers. So look what he say. I send the picture in the group. Halacha. Halacha mem dalet mem he. He said, when a woman does teshuvah, quand une femme a fait teshuvah, and really she understands how to put that veil where it should be put. Et qu'elle fait toujours, qu'elle comprend qu'il faut mettre sa voile là, il faut sa famille. Et c'est Nashim, même he, Nashim, chez une note, sorry, Halacha mem dalet. Because they imlo asa teshuvah. So say, if you don't do teshuvah, there's a whole story happening for you. Si tu fais pas teshuvah, il y a toute une histoire qui se passe pour toi. But he said, but the woman who make teshuvah, now he started, he said, שאיננות הם בתיה בת פרו ושאר הנשים שעוסקות שם בתורה במצוות. So it's basically to cover yourself, to cover your spirituality, your neshama, will give you access to some gates. What are the gates? The gate is basically the path you will use to activate and to use your potential at its maximum. Il dit, le fait d'avoir cette couverture et de savoir faire teshuvah, ça va te donner accès à des portes, à des portiques. Et ces portiques-là, elles vont te permettre d'exploiter ton potentiel au maximum. We know that the women are different. So he said, some kind of woman, when they will put the Kisouye properly, Ruchani, physical, there will be access to the first gate. Who is in the first gate? Batya Bat Paro. What does it mean? We're going to see. Batya Bat Paro, elle est dans la première porte. What kind of woman goes there? Quel genre de femme vont là? Woman, she oskot batorah mitzvot. You're a woman, you don't joke. You study Torah mitzvot, Torah mitzvot, Torah mitzvot. When you start to build your potential, which gate you will sign, which gate you're going to use, which path you're going to use. The path called Batya Bat Paro. She will be there guiding you, helping you. Elle sera là à vous guider, à vous faire avancer. הלכה מ"ו, הלכות תשובה. ויש 4 היכלות של נשים שנכנסים בהם זכרים. And say, what's happened? These gates, it's only for women. And men are not allowed to enter. You see, now we ask to you to know how to make distance. You see? There is a place in Olam Haba, in Gan Eden, call it what you want, in the place là-haut, Olam Gan Eden, où c'est écrit, c'est que pour les femmes. It's only for women. So if in Olam Hazeh you are not able to build these fences, these borders, you know, this is for my husband and me. You, no one. How can you access to a place where only women will be accepted?
That's where the woman is Ezra.
Yes.
She's helper.
Donc le but c'est de se comprendre comment je peux accéder à un Heichal où c'est réservé qu'aux femmes, quand dans ce Olam-ci, je n'ai même pas fait l'effort de mettre cette barrière. Je n'ai même pas fait l'effort. I didn't make the effort. Gynéco, I want a male gynéco very soft. What? Je veux un homme gynéco masculin parce qu'ils sont plus doux. What's your logical? What are you doing? We are talking about face, and you talking about a place, and you say, no, it's cool. Look what you're missing. The first Heichal, Batya Bat Paro. Power, you see, you're in the Torah, you study, you know how to be like Tamar in the house of Yehuda. Your father never saw your face. You get there. 4 Heichalot. Question? No. No male enter. Il n'y a pas d'homme qui rentre. Même Zayn. Echad Arishon Batya. Ok. Shloshah Pamim Beyom Ba Moshe Rabbeinu. He said 3 times a day. Moshe come to that Heichal, but stay far. Even Moshe don't enter. Même Moshe ne rentre pas. Look. Moshe Rabbeinu Hashem Ad Chad Pargoda. Stand at the fence, the borders. Vesham Roe Batya, and he see his mother. The mother who helped him to grow up. He was sa mère qui l'a aidé à grandir. What he does? B'dukna shel Moshe Rabbeinu. Basically, he said to her, Mom, because it's Yokheved, but also Batya. She was a mom. Mom, is the halacha of the day. Is the soda, Okay, thank you. And she go in the Heichal, and the woman at the level of Batya, Torah mitzvah. You're going to see it in the Zohar, it's written in the Zohar. Bien sûr, c'est converti. Après, elle dit, Halacha, même chet. I didn't send the picture, sorry. Sur l'Acha même chet, il dit quoi? Heichal Hasheni, le second Heichal, sorry. Serar Bat Asher.
It's only for women, this Heichalot.
Yes, only woman. No man can enter.
You can't get in. It's no VIP for us.
No.
But the women
You can't get in the sneakers.
Serar Bat Asher. Oui, she kept the secret of Mashiach. She heard Yosef saying, Pakod Ifkod. She wait. There's a guy called Moshe Ben Amram. He said, ask to him. Where's Pasuk? Pakod Ifkod, it's him. Serar Bat Paro.
She also gave the secret where
Bat Asher.
she also said where Joseph was buried.
Yeah, yes.
She played the harp. She sang
You said to say that Yosef has been said. Okay. And who comes? So here Moshe comes to say, Mom, look. And who comes in the Heichal to give the Chidushin? Yosef. It's halacha. Halachot. Ilchot Teshuvah. You can see on the top. Ilchot Teshuvah. Perek Vav. Si, elle était vivante quand il était là, Yosef. Elle a vécu longtemps. Heichal Shlishi, Yokheved. Troisième Heichal Yokheved. Heichal Revi'i, Devorah. And with Devorah, Shar HaNashim, Odan Shirat Devorah. All the women who are, they love to sing. But when they sing, Hashem will answer fast. They are going like this. So they are here.
This is Devorah.
This is what Heichal Devorah. Devorah is handling. So let's see the Aga'ah. Aga'ah, Samer A. C'est Heichal Serar Bat Asher Gam Hulda. In this Heichal of Devorah, no. In the Heichal of Serar, also Hulda is standing here. Hulda elle est aussi là. Ve'i Heichal Serar Bat Asher. In the Heichal of Yokheved, also Miriam is there. Miriam elle aussi là. This is just introduction. So now let me give you the main curse in the Zohar, and we will be done. What is the purpose of this Heikhalot? Always just to justify the information I want to give. So, ladies, where are you?
How you translate Heichal to English?
Gates.
No, it's not a gate.
Chambers, like a chamber. Chambers, yeah. But the common word is actually gates. I usually translate.
To get to the chamber, you have
gate,
to pass
gate,
house to the gate.
it's chambers.
It's not a Heichal.
No, but when you talk on the lashon of the text of Torah,
Yeah. In the
say
Zohar,
gates.
the way we understand the Heikhalot, it's like it because we use it to pass from one level to another level. We don't stay in. We just, it's like, yeah. So in the Zohar, Shelar Lecha, Daf Kuf Samer Zain. It's all the story is expressed, is tell in detail. We're going to read it and understand what you can win for yourself when you really know what is the borders and the limitation to put between you and any masculine who is not need to be here. The painter, the Mazgan guy, yeah, the plumber, all these things. I will start straight. Shalom Tsadekot. Pas besoin de te laisser poser. Je demande if you will pass because of the position. Donc, il dit comme ça. So see what he's saying. Regardez ce qu'il dit. Ici, Echad, Yesh, Batya Bat Paro. C'est une zoir. C'est date. Heikhalot, Batya Bat Paro. C'est là, Lecha. C'est pas Bat Paro. Vekama, Ribo, Ve'alfei Nashim, Zochot Ita. And you have, oh Hashem, you see, he said you have Ribo Alfei, thousand women with her, all the 6,000 millennium. How many women are Tzadekot? Yes, we have. With her, thousands of women, des milliers de femmes. So you see why it's the book, this word is not hard. If you know what it want to bring you. If you know that want to bring you here, suddenly it's not a bad guy. Someone will give me some code. Donc, il me donne des codes. Il sait comment nashimita. ולכל אחת ואחד מהם יש מקומות של אורות ועידונים ללאו דוחק כלל. C'est every single woman has her own place. And it's very pleasant. And no fight. Chaque femme a sa place. Il n'y a pas, ça ne se bouscule pas, chacun a sa place et c'est très agréable. שלוש פעמים בכל יום כרוזות מכריזים, הראי דמות משה נביא נאמנה בה, ובתיה יוצאת למקום פרגוד אחד ויש לה, ורואה דמות משה, ומי שתחווה אליו ואומרת, אשרי חלקי שגידלתי אור זה. So it's every day she stands at the entrance door of that place where she's the boss, she's handling. Chaque jour, elle se tient entre cette place-là où elle est la directrice. And Moshe comes, and when she sees Moshe, you say, my part is so good because I had the merit to grow this kid, this child. Sur ma part, que j'ai eu le mérite de faire grandir cette lumière. Veze, inugin shela yoter mikulam. So Veze, the oneg of Batya Bat Paro is higher than everybody.
She gets pleasure to see the good that come out of her creation, like her.
Yes, but the question is, so why also? Because Batya, c'est just a convert.
No, that's exactly.
C'est juste une
It's
convert.
her, then that's exactly. And she's not her mother. Exactly. I have a big deal, but that's what the.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with Yehuda and Tamar, and the whole story. It's like in the darkness, and not that. That's sort of the whole.
Exactly. Ça veut dire quoi? En fait,
And she's the whole.
yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. So she be, and this, remember what said Arakadosh in his commentary of the Shulchan Aruch. He said, here is for women called the Torah mitzvot, meaning that the 240 mitzvot, c'est-à-dire quoi, les 240 mitzvot, it's in your pocket, dans ta poche. Your Torah, you know it. You don't joke with Torah and mitzvot. At that level, you are in the first Echal. À ce moment-là, tu es dans le premier Echal. Parce que tu es totalement couverte. Because you are totally covered with the 248. So it's called the Torah mitzvot. There is no negotiation. I want to do my Torah and keep it here. Je fais ma Torah et le faire là. And if I have to do the opposite of all the society, I will do it if it's respecting the minhag of my husband. Si je dois faire tout ce que je dois faire, le contraire de ce que la société fait, je le ferai si ça respecte le minhag de mon mari. This is level Batya Bat Paro. Don't think that it's hard because it's a million of people, women are inside. Il y a dit, pourquoi tu l'as fait dedans?
That's the whole.
Yes.
But we're there, we don't know, that's outside. I think we still have to work hard.
Tu acceptes de changer, sinon tu le pousses pas.
Non, tu peux aimer la personne, apporter des papiers, des habits.
So it's women is traveling from one income to the other.
Moi, je sais pas, moi, par exemple, je veux épouser un séparat, je ne posais pas un Ashkenaz parce que je ne veux pas changer de bagarre.
You said that Isha can travel from one Echad to the other.
I didn't say it yet. We're gonna see.
We're getting there, but eventually I'm like, okay, fine.
After what she said Moshe, she have seen Moshe, voit Moshe, חוזרת לנשים ומשתדלת במצוות התורה, and starts to study Torah. Quand elle voit Moshe, il repart et étudie la Torah. כולן באותה דמיות שהיו בעולם הזה כבלבוש אור. So you say what's happened when they study the Torah, quand ils étudient la Torah, dans ce Heikhalot, in this place, they use the shape achieved in Olam Hazeh. Ils utilisent la dimension qu'ils ont dans Olam Hazeh. What does it mean? If you really know how to put boundaries in your thought, in your speech, and in your action, and you really to show that stranger cannot achieve this or anything else, you will bring that shape in Olam Haba. Si tu as réussi à mettre les bonnes barrières ici, de la bonne manière, comme il faut, et que tu laisses aucun étranger accéder à quoi que ce soit, tu vas avoir la même caractéristique dans Olam Haba. Bilvush Zachim, and the clothes are very pure. Les habits sont très purs. Prat shel o meirim kar, bemitzvot haTorah shel o zachu lekaiman ba'olam hazeh. משתדלים בהם ובטעמיהם באותו העולם. So say all the mitzvah they couldn't apply properly because of this and that. They are studying and doing it properly. And they make everything. Ils font tout. Là-bas, toutes les mitzvahs qu'ils n'ont pas pu accomplir dans Olam Hazeh, elles vont le faire et les accomplir de manière simple et sûre. And he said, וכל הנשים הללו שיושבות יחד עם בת פרו נקראות נשים שאננות. שאננות. So what's your name when you are here? You are called נשים שאננות.
I think with Shannon, we use some gold or something, right?
Yes. נשים שאננות. בהיכל אחר, in over היכל, שרה בת אשר, שרה la fille d'Asher. וכמה נשים ריבועו ואלפים יחד איתה, and thousands now women with her. שלושה פעמים ביום מזכירים לפניה, הראי דמות יוסף צדיק בא, והיא שמחה, ויוצאת לגבי הפרגוד האחד שיש לה, ורואה אור דמות יוסף, ושמחה, ומשתחווה עליו, ואומרת, אשרי היום שעוררתי בשורתך לסבי, ואחר כך חוזרת לשאר האנשים. So basically, Sarah, she go at the entrance door of that place, and she sees, oh, Yosef, and say, happy is my part. Donc elle sort dans sa porte, elle voit Yosef. Elle dit, ma part est belle. Elle say, because I tell to the people where were your coffin, how to find it, how to bring it up. Par ailleurs, je dis aux gens comment trouver ton cercueil et l'élever. And after, like Bat Paro, when she sees Yosef, she sees him and she bow down. Quand elle le voit, elle se prosterne. After she got back in the Heichal, in that room, elle repart dans cette pièce, What does the woman do? Elle fait quoi les femmes là-bas? במשתדלות, בתשבחות, ריבון העולם, להודעות, לשמו. And basically, the שבחות, elles font des louanges, make praise. Elle veut say, Hashem, your name is tremendous. Ton nom, il est incroyable. בכמה מקומות ושמחה יש לאכול אחד ואחד. In this place, there is place for everybody, but also simcha. So, Bat Paro, we don't see simcha. We see analot. Here, on voit, il y a la joie aussi. La joie aussi. וכמה יש, אשרי, שלדות, בכמה מקומות, שמחה ויש לכל אחד ואחד. אחר כך חוזרות after, וגו back, להשתדלים במצוות תורה. So also, they study Torah also, but they have a moment when they make praises. Aussi, elles étudient la Torah, mais un moment où elles vont faire des louanges. After, בהיכל אחר, יש יוכבד, הם משה. Dans l'autre porte, dans l'autre endroit, il y a Yokheved, la mère de Moshe. La vieille Mana, Bekama Alfe Revavot Imo, Ima. Beaucoup de femmes aussi avec elle. Many women with her. And they said, Bechal ze lo maskirim klal, ela shlosha pa'amim bechol yom vayom moda ומשבחת לריבון העולמים היא בכל הנשים שאיתה. So say in this Heichal, no tzadikim. No Moshe, no Yosef. Hein? Yokheved. Yeah, Yokheved. Il n'y a pas de tzaddik qui vient. Even Moshe could come, the mother. Moshe pouvait venir, ses affaires, sa mère. C'est no one come, but in this Heichal. Who?
What you read now.
No, it's the Zohar himself.
No, not Ramak.
No. The Ramak is some commentaries. It's we want commentaries. We get information. Elle aussi a un... Ouais, non, pas là aussi. Mais ici, on est dans la Maba. Il n'y a pas de... Elle said, we just make praise. Il faut que des louanges là-bas. And we sing also Shiratayam. Mizberot Bekol Yom. Ve'i levada omeret mik'an tikar Miriam הנביאה. את התוף בידעה וכולי. וכל אותם צדיקי גן עדן מקשיבים לנמעות קולעה. So you say, what's happened? You are in the Gan Eden. It's simple. The tzaddikim, when Miriam is singing with Yokheved the Shiratayam, they come to listen to that voice. Yes. Not like here, it's not permitted there. All the tzaddikim of the Gan Eden, they go and listen to Miriam and Yokheved singing the Shiratayam. Tous les tzaddikim, ils vont là-bas. And he said, because his voice is so sweet, sa voix est si douce. And also the angels. Les anges aussi, ils y vont. Modim ou meshabchim imaa l'Hashem HaKadosh. Ok. Ou be'echal acher, et dans l'autre echal, in the other echal, yesh dvorah. Gam kar bekol sha'ar anashim ita'a modot במזמרות באותו שירה שהיא אמרה בעולם הזה. So all the women in that Heichal, they sing the same song she wrote in her book. Elle chante les chansons que Deborah qu'elle a chantées dans ce Heichal-là. Rabbi, מי ראה חדוות הצדיקים בשל נשים זכאיות שעושות לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא. So I say basically, when he spent the story, Rabbi Shimon was revealing this. He said, Rabbi, who are you? Qui es-tu, Rabbi? To reveal that secret that tzaddikim and tzadikot, they have a place like this. We have a place like this. Il y a des places comme ça, where even the women, they have their own Heichal. Heichal where it's only for her. No man can show off. Ils ont leur propre Heichal. Aucun homme ne peut rentrer. So the question that Sarit asked, do you move forward? Do you go in different Heikhalot? Or do you stay in one Heichal according to your soul? Sarit a demandé, est-ce que tu montes dans les Heikhalot? Est-ce que tu restes que dans un? Comment ça se passe? It's like this. In conclusion, and also give an answer to that. We underestimate the power of the woman's body, the woman's beauty, the woman's voice, and the woman's everything which is connected to the woman. We underestimate the holiness and the power. Tout ce qui est lié aux femmes, on sous-estime la kedusha et la force. Not only us, the men, pas seulement nous les hommes, but mostly the women themselves. Les femmes vous-mêmes. Because you misunderstand about all the keys which are only in your hands. Parce que vous ne savez pas c'est quoi les clés que vous avez dans votre propre main. I will never know what they're studying here. Which halakha est possédé là? Quelle halakha est possédée ici? We don't know. What do we do with the second we are doing here? We don't know. He says, but it's not the moment. Oh, yeah.
Why the highest gate is Batya, the woman who is a convert, the girl?
She gave the answer before 10 minutes. Yeah.
When we underestimate.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Zohar Kadosh.
Okay, I learn later, sorry.
No. It's like this. I ask, how come that it's the convert daughter of Paro, who is like, and the highest Heichal. She sings Moshe while even a mother cannot see Moshe. Moshe don't come in front of his gate. It's to take you, it's giving to you the answer about what we saw before 1 month and a half. Ça donne la réponse par rapport à ce qu'on a vu avant un mois. What is the answer? It's like this. We saw that the women, they are exposed to 4 types of demons. Right?
4 nudities?
Huh?
4 of them?
No. Demon.
No, but also.
Yeah, what we know. But let's talk about the demon. What did we saw? We saw la mediot, machalat, ograt, and naama. So la mediot, naama, machalat, and agrat. So who is holding the first Heichal? La mediot.
So Batya is the opposite of the
No. You want to fight la mediot properly, you have to understand what is the secret of not considering that your Jewish identity is acquired. Every single moment you have to fight for that. What does it mean? Remember what we said in the morning? It's talking about the teshuvah. We make one big mistake on feel grande faute. We think that Judaism, it's about physicality. The guy is not keeping Shabbat, not eating kosher. She's not eating kosher, not eating Shabbat. That's nude. But because she's called Ben Baba and she had that nose, no, she's Jew. Who told you? The Gemara say no. The Gemara say, who is a Jew? Someone who keeps Torah. But the society transform it. They create that Judaism has nothing to do with halacha, with Torah. You are not keeping Torah, it's okay. You are Jew by genetic. Exactly. This is against the Torah. The Torah said people who don't keep Torah, they are not Bnei Yaakov. So what are you talking about Jew? And even, they said, if you stop to practice Torah 3 generations, you know what? The tshuva is not enough. You have to go to the deeper teshuva, which is convert again. And we hold that, no, Jewish is about culture, my DNA, my identity, my name, my food. This is Judaism. So if you understand this, You know that's how you get. Well, how come that Batya is here? Because, like said the Gemara, only a convert can confirm that he's really Jew. Because he said, I made the choice. I dropped my parents off. I took my fish, put it out, and I'm here. You, okay, but you're not sure. Stop me, the Gemara saying. And one day I saw one machloket in the Yeshiva study between one Jew from birth and one convert. You know, it become very hard to say. The convert say you don't know if you're a Jew. But the question is, how do you know that you're a Jew? Keep everything. Why you start to put this in this Torah? What I receive from my master, look at you. You don't keep, we appreciate you. We know that the Teshuvah is here. The Teshuvah is standing. We respect, we help you. But don't come to talk about I'm Jew. No, you're a Jew. Practice. You are not. The Gemara says you are not.
The Gemara says you can't, if you don't keep Shabbat, you don't keep things, you can't be even aid them.
Exactly.
Meaning that the way you perceive reality means nothing to.
Exactly. That's why for many people, pour beaucoup de gens, I don't have a Jewish face. It's a shame to say that. Why? There's a Jewish face now? Many people say, no, you know, it's more Jews. What? I know, you know, that nose, that ear. How come you fall so loud? Comment vous êtes tombé si bas? Ouais, mais c'est la réalité. Aujourd'hui, les gens considèrent que les Juifs doivent avoir une certaine forme physique. Pas plus abouti, il y a des rabbins dedans, il y a des sages dedans. Ah, c'est pas bien, parce que tu peux pas...
Je préfère ça plutôt que juste
non, tu peux pas, sur une erreur, sur un aspect, dire à quelqu'un que tout le bien qu'il a pu faire, ou les bonnes choses, les vraies choses qu'il a pu dire, ça compte plus. Ben, c'est la vérité quand même. Ben, si je te mets un noir dans la rue, une tête d'Africain sans kippa, je te mets quelqu'un type méditerranéen dans la rue avec un nez un peu juif, je te dis de quel est juif, tu vas dire que les vers l'autre. C'est la vérité, il ne faut pas se mentir. Je sais pas, ça ne fait pas de peine. Donc voilà, comment on arrive à ça? Non, je ne mets pas de kippa, justement, c'est ça le truc. Parce qu'on arrive à faire croire aux gens que tu restes juif, peu importe ce que tu fais. C'est ce qu'on enseigne, non? Peu importe ce que tu fais, tu restes juif. C'est ce qu'on enseigne. It's what we teach to people. No matter what you do, you still Jew. Bah, l'envie de sauver ne doit pas t'amener à dire des phrases qui sont importantes. Oui, mais en fin de compte, ça reste une phrase approximative. Tu es en train de dire à quelqu'un qu'il a une entité que la Gemara dit qu'il n'a plus. Et pour justifier cela, tu dis non, regarde, il est de la famille là-bas, mais ce n'est pas parce qu'il est d'une famille qu'il est Ben Israël, Ben Yaakov. C'est le fait de garder cette Torah-là qui te confère cette identité-là. C'est pas moi qui le dis, c'est le Gemara. Donc ça veut dire que tu...
Même si moi je suis nulle et que je te raconte que je suis nulle, j'ai mis un sac d'accord parce que mes potes ils ont bossé pour moi.
Donc en fait, dans l'alliance d'Abraham, il n'y a que les Juifs qui sont inclus dedans. Ok, mais d'accord, non, mais dans la brite avec Abraham, il n'y a que les Juifs qui sont inclus dedans.
Tous ceux qui veulent rentrer là, oui.
Non. Il dit toutes les mishpachot haolam, toutes les familles du monde sont bénies par toi. Donc même les non-juifs, ils sont la brite Abraham.
Moi, je vais c'est
donc dans le petit track, il n'y a que les juifs dedans. Oui. Et le désir de Yitzhak de bénir Esav. Et le fait de lui dire que si Yaakov ne garde pas la Torah, tu peux dominer sur lui. Il n'est pas dans la brite Esav aussi. Et dire, regarde.
Le tafki de Yaakov, le tafki
c'est quoi la condition, c'est quoi la différence quand je dis, tiens, je te fais le cadeau, tu es toi le tenant de ce cadeau. À chaque fois que tu déconnes, lui qui l'a pas, il peut te dominer et profiter.
Il domine, mais il n'a pas cette Torah. Il domine d'une autre manière.
Bah, tu penses que les chrétiens n'ont pas une Shefa?
Oui,
Ils n'ont pas pris des trucs d'Israël pour amener au Vatican.
Mais ils
n'ont pas pris des ménorotes.
Mais ils sont quand même pas amségoula.
Non, mais je comprends ce que ça veut dire. Comment ça se fait que tu me donnes une alliance qui, dès que je ne tiens pas, elle bénéficie à un autre?
Mais c'est pas pareil, c'est pas la même chose.
C'est une alliance à tranchant.
Mais pour moi, c'est pas pareil du tout.
C'est-à-dire que je suis encore sous la norme. C'est-à-dire pour moi, j'ai un contrat. Si tu fais ça, si tu fais pas ça, t'as ça. Moi, je le fais, je fais pas des comptes.
Ça veut dire dans l'alliance de Yitzhak, il y a aussi les non-juifs.
Non, je reçois aussi des coups. Si je fais des coups, je suis encore sous la norme.
Oui, mais qui prouve que tu reçois des coups? Les non-juifs, ils te disent, leurs marques ils sont aussi dedans.
Alors vous, si vous êtes pas là, mais est-ce que eux, ils sont sous le même...
Mais c'est pas pareil, c'est pas pareil. Amis Israël, ils sont amségoula, ils sont choisis pour un truc et Esav, il est choisi pour une autre mission. Donc si Esav, il domine sur Israël quand Israël ne fait pas ce qu'il faut faire, c'est pas la même chose. C'est pas une domination de la Torah, c'est pas une domination de la connaissance, c'est pas une domination de... C'est pas eux qui... C'est pas pareil.
Non, on va faire ça simple. Qui a reçu l'alliance en premier? Qu'est-ce qu'il dit dans son alliance? What he said in his covenant?
Oui.
Il said, Ger yeh zarachah be'eretz lo lahem.
Oui.
Ok? Ça parle de qui? Who is quoted in that story?
Ben, c'est sa descendance.
C'est quelle descendance?
Zaracha, on dit Zaracha, c'est les fils de son Zéra, c'est Yitzhak.
Ger yeh zarachah be'eretz lo lahem. Who are you talking about?
Non, moi je dis le Zéra, non pas du Zéra de Abraham, le Zéra de Abraham.
Le Rashi dit quoi là-bas? Quoi c'est Rashi? Ger yeh zarachah be'eretz lo lahem is talking about the Erev Rav in Egypt.
Ok.
So who is Erev Rav?
Enfin, c'est les convertis, c'est des de personnes pleines de convertis.
C'est tous les partis qu'il a lui ramené dans la tente.
Ou des gens qui sont convertis en Égypte.
So what's Rashi? Dit quoi Rashi là-bas? Why Hashem have to tell to Abraham, Ger yeh zaracha? Il dit because some Jew Levite of this time, they will not recognize them to be a part of your covenant. Parce qu'il y a des Juifs à ce moment-là, ils ne vont pas reconnaître que c'est une partie de ta population. That's why Yosef say, do the milah and go to some specific place like this. No one can say you are not a part, but they are not Jew. And this is Pesach.
C'est quand même eux qui ont ramené le peuple à la guerre et à cause d'eux, on en a pris par la guerre.
Et grâce à eux, on va être libérés.
On aurait pu avoir la Torah à l'être et on aurait pu avoir le truc.
On ne méritait pas.
À cause d'eux.
Non,
parce qu'on
grâce
a
à eux.
tout un peuple. Alors peut-être t'as raison. Dieu nous a fait comprendre qu'ils font partie du peuple parce que peut-être qu'on les a mis à part. Alors du coup, on a pris dans la gueule pour eux.
Merci.
Mais pour nous faire comprendre qu'on est un peuple. Mais...
Et qu'ils sont partie du peuple. They are a full part of the people.
Mais tu peux pas. Mais ça veut dire que c'est justifié aussi que les mettre de l'autre côté, dans le sens où s'ils n'étaient pas là, eh ben, on n'aurait pas fauté.
Non.
Bah, le peuple n'aurait pas fauté.
Non.
Il n'aurait pas eu prêt à la guerre.
Non, c'est pas écrit comme ça. C'est écrit qu'ils ont proposé aux Juifs et ils ont accepté. Les Juifs, ils n'ont jamais forcé. Jamais forcé. Personne n'a été forcé. They propose. They say, okay, let's do the Hegel. And we say, okay, let's do. Even Aaron say, okay, bring your rings. So they never force anybody. So it's telling to you that the covenant of Abraham, l'alliance d'Abraham, c'était between, it say, Ger yeh zaracha. So you zera, it's also all the Erev Rav that some people of your genetic lineage will say they are not Jew.
Mais pourquoi c'est écrit Be'aretz lo lahem? Donc si c'est des Égyptiens, et qu'ils sont convertis, alors c'est bien un guillemot chez eux.
Ben non, c'était pas les Égyptiens, c'était plein de peuples. We're not from the Egyptians, we are from many people. So now what's happened, just to conclude, and my bracha to the Chatan of the Kala. Hey, Benjamin, my bracha to you. Bracha to you will be try to be a man in your house. At least to be a man in your house is to give to your wife the tools that she will be easily entering here.
Amen. Yes, son.
How do you do it? It's a mix of two things. Calmness, soft, but truth. Don't play with the truth. Don't play with the truth.
Amen.
She can scream,
Amen.
she can look at you badly, no matter, but the truth is the truth. And the truth is always what? Written. You can talk, but if it's not written, with all the love I have for you, it will not be done. Why? Be like the Ben Ish Chai. To be strong doesn't mean to be bad. To be strong means that you are giving a shape to your house, to your Shalom Bait with purposes. Now you know that there is more than the Heichal of your house now. There's other places you have to achieve, and it's on your shoulder. Because if she didn't achieve that place, who will be guilty? You. This is the problem with the men of our generation. They think that Shalom Bait, you can get it by being
No argument.
no argument. She said, I would just say yes, like this will become. No. You have to bring us somewhere. You have to build that path for her. Sometimes it's going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's going to be very hard. But keep in mind, you decided to give to her the tuba, you have no choice. You have to be successful in your mission. And may all the tzaddikim, Enishchai, Akadosh, that we were today, give to you strength every single day. To be able to accomplish that. And also to your wife, may this book be something that you will know how to use it to make the life of the woman of your generation sweeter. If you cannot do that, you miss your mission. All the purpose is to make life sweeter. No matter what you have to teach, no matter the truth you have to say, no matter the action you have to bring down, it should be sweet.
Amen. Even if she thinks she's dead?
Yeah,
She's sweet and dead?
Yeah, obliged.
Even if she thinks she's dead, she has to be sweet and dead.
And Bezrat Hashem,
And she said if she wants to don't
Bezrat Hashem, I know that it was a wonderful wedding. We saw something very important. It was a long way, a long fight, a long discussion. But at the end, you made it.
Amen.
You have to keep that same logical. Be yourself. See the world with your eyes, with your sensitivity, with your feelings. But never forget that at the end, you have to do things. Talking is good. Thinking is good. Dreaming is extraordinary. But at the end, you have to do. So keep in mind that if you made it, you made engagement with that contract. You made the wedding. You have in your hands the capacity, the skills to do a lot of things. But never let them hear. Bring it down. And many people in Aurora, they came to see me that you became models because some people were despair. So you know what? it will never happen. How many phone calls I received the last week? It will not happen. So you know what? I have no problem. I said to Rabbi Benjamin, see you next Thursday. Bye. I don't want to listen anything. Not this, not that, not this. I don't want to listen. I have a meeting. We're going to meet there for the wedding. And you made it happen. So may Hashem also bless your parents. And also, Mishmat, your mother, Pegele. I know that she is where she is now. She's very happy because you made it. You brought foundation pillars, and now you will see that even your dynamics, your relation with father and mother, will be different. You will discover a new part of yourself. Let that part exist also. You gave a lot the first part of your life. Now you will have to give in a different way because you have a husband nearby, and you have to become your priority, and she has to become your priority. And the same way you have to bring her here, the same way she has to bring you up.
Amen.
Baruch Halouka DeRabbanan.
Mazal tov, mazal tov.
מזל טוב. לחיים אוג'י.
סימן טוב, מזל טוב, מזל טוב וסימן טוב.
סימן טוב ומזל טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב. סימן טוב ומזל טוב וסימן טוב. יהיה לנו, יהיה לנו, יהיה לנו לכל ישראל. יהיה לנו, יהיה לנו, לכל ישראל. דוד מלך ישראל, חי וקיים. דוד מלך ישראל, חי וקיים. תודה רבה בזכריה, ומישהו צדיק.
אמן, אמן, אמן. See you soon, Rabbi.
תודה רבה, רבי צדיק. רבי רבי צדיק שבע, שלום טוב רבי אליעזר.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Ok, Baba Rabbi Cécilia, Rabbi Temouna, Baba Rabbi Rachel.
Merci, Rabbi.
Avec plaisir.
Merci beaucoup.
Bye bye.